Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we are going to be reviewing part 1 from The Creature from the Pit. When I do these episodic reviews, they seem to go over pretty well with some people, and I've been doing that a lot with like the first Doctor, so I figured I would do that here with a fourth Doctor story. Now this is one of the only 3 stories I hadn't seen from Tom Baker when I first got the season 17 box set. I have already seen Nightmare of Eden and done a review on that. But I figured with Creature from the Pit, I'd go back to doing these episodic videos just to kind of give my thoughts on the story as it progresses. I don't know a lot about this one other than the infamous scene and the fact that the creature wasn't finished when they kind of had to use it. That's why it doesn't look as good as it should. But I have to say, I enjoyed part 1. It does a lot of things I like. One, Tom is being very witty. He has some really good dialogue. Like when he's poking fun at an expression. I can't remember what it is, but it's something, standing while doing something. And he's like, well, why don't you do it while laying down? It's so much easier to do that while laying down. I like that bit. I like when he gets hit by the little weed things. And he's like, do you mind just helping me up a little? Romana! And I love that. I like when Romana first gets brought out. And she's like, yes, we also caught your commander. And he's like, my commander? Yes, right there. And Romana's just waving at him. He goes, oh, hello, Commander. And then when she's asking him what the blue box is, he's like, oh, that's our device that we travel with. And here, let me show you real quick. He tries to walk to the TARDIS. There's a lot of that in there I really love with his humor. I like when he's in the gallows, the little gallows, whatever it's called. The stock, gallows stock, I don't know. Whenever he's in it, and he's talking to the guard, he's like, my nose itches. Could you come over here and just scratch my nose for me? And when the guard goes over and does it for whatever reason, he just headbutts him, knocks him down. I love it when the fourth Doctor's playing a fool and he's actually just kind of lulling people into a false sense of security. I call this the Troughton method. It works very well. And I like the fact that even though he's being, very flippant, the fact that the Queen, the Andrasta, or whatever her name is, I don't remember. I'm just going to call her the Queen. She picks up on the fact he's intelligent and is fascinated by how he thinks that one wall is from an egg and all that. I really like that. I like Romana so far in the story. Lalla Ward is really good in this one. I love when she gets captured by the bandits and how she takes control of that situation. Much like the Doctor. She takes control of the situation and it's just like, nope, if y'all kill me, you're basically just committing suicide. And she explains that to him, and then they end up just freeing her except for the one. And she tricks them into blowing on the whistle to summon K9. So K9 shows up and stuns one of them so she can escape. The whole way she controlled that situation is perfect. It's very much like the Doctor. She never got spooked or scared or felt like she was on the back foot. She was always in control of that situation. The Doctor is like that with the Queen as well. While he might not be commanding the situation, he doesn't let her command the situation either. I never get the impression that he is 2 or 3 steps behind the Queen. He's right there with her the whole way. He never lets her just take command of the situation, and that's what the Doctor does, and I like that. He never seems to be at a disadvantage, even if all the guns are pointed at him, so to speak. I like that shot of when, right at the end, K9 and Romana show up where the Doctor is at the pit. And when one of the balls rolls at K9, he fires and blows it up. That's a really nice shot. When you see the little weed ball blow up and on fire, that's a really neat shot. I was impressed by that shot. The performances are alright. The bandits are okay. I liked the old woman. That's kind of the Queen's second in command or whatever. I like her. She's fine. The one playing the Queen, I'm really enamored with. Myra Francis? Was that it? Myra Francis? I can't remember if her name exactly. I'm trying to remember if she's the one that played in Blake 7. Somebody on this show is in Blake 7 a lot. One of the regulars on Blake 7. I just can't remember which Doctor Who episode they guest starred in. But I really liked her. There is just something eye-catching about her. She has this sexuality to her that I find really enticing. When she's talking to Tom Baker at the pit, and she's like, we call it the pit. And when she turns to look at him, she does this thing with her eyebrow, where she just arches her eyebrow. And then she does it again right before the cliffhanger, where she does this arch with her left eyebrow that is just, I don't know what it is, but it just got my attention. in a way that usually doesn't happen with me. I'm more of the girl next door type. But I don't know. I was very enamored with it. That kind of Spock eyebrow raise she does. The way she does it is almost seductive. Maybe that's just me, but I normally not something I'd go on about. But the fact that I rarely see something, especially in a TV show, where I take that much notice of it, and it just draws me to her, my eyes right to her. That impressed me, and I'm curious to see more of her, to see if that's just me or if that's the way the character's portrayed. The jungle set looks really nice. I believe it was done on film, though. It looks like it was shot. The jungle stuff was shot on film, and the original film elements don't survive. It looks like something that was shot on film, but only the videotape standard definition of it still survives, like most of Classic Good. Because it looks a little grainier, a little rougher than the studio stuff, and the studio stuff looks way better to me. So I don't like that kind of rough cut look that has right there. I found it a little bothersome, but I'm enjoying it so far. I like everything that's going on with it. I like the fact that in part 1 you don't see the creature. You hear the noise it makes, which intimidating noise. I'd be a little concerned if I heard that. And then when the guy toward the end gets thrown in, you see that green glow on his face where you know it's bad. And it kind of reminds me of the green glow from The Horror of Fang Rock, another story I love. It kind of reminds me of that, so since I associate that kind of green glow with that, immediately I was like, oh, I'm a little suspenseful. So I think it's smart here with part 1 not revealing the creature yet, because it kind of builds it up in your mind, which we know it ultimately doesn't live up to. But it's nice how it builds that up in your mind. I think considering the limited budget they were working with for this story especially, I think they pull it off pretty well for part 1. Looking forward to moving on to part 2 next. Other things to do. That's my thoughts on part 1 of Creature from the Pit. Other things to do. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do. There is a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a very special shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, the 5th Doctor and Stephen Crane. I really appreciate their support, just as I appreciate the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. Box. If there's anything you would like to send me, Doctor Who related, sci-fi related, or otherwise, my P.O. Box is down in the description below. And also down there is a link to my Amazon wish list if you would like to support me that way. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.